So last month, on September 20th, I submitted a case to renew both my DACA status and work authorization online. Just 8 days later, on September 28th, I was notified that my case was approved and that I should expect my documents to arrive in the mail soon. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do to renew both forms I-821D, DACA, and I-765, work authorization. También, si de casualidad necesitan ver este video en español, asegúrense de habilitar los subtítulos en español. Now, before I begin, it's important for you to know that I am not a lawyer. I'm just a random guy on YouTube. Any specific questions you may have pertaining to your specific legal needs should be answered by a trusted, licensed attorney. This video is purely for entertainment and demonstration purposes only. Quick side note, make sure you have your previous DACA and work authorization documents on hand so that you can reference them for any information you might need moving forward. Also, this video only applies if you're renewing your DACA, as unfortunately USCIS is currently not processing first-time applications. With that said, let's jump right in. The first thing you'll need to do is create an online account with USCIS. To do this, go to uscis.gov and click Sign In, then Create Account. Type in your email 2 times and follow the instructions to set up your account. Once you've logged in, under My Account, click File a Form Online, then type DACA in the search bar, click on the first result, then click Start Form. Here, read over the requirements and make sure you meet the eligibility requirements before moving forward. Also, take note that you will need to pay a combined $495 fee to submit an application. Hit Next at the bottom of the page, then hit Start at the bottom of the next page. At this point, you've arrived at the beginning of the DACA application. You will need to fill in your responses to each of the following questions. To save you time rather than go through the entire application question by question, I'll highlight some of the questions that I personally needed further clarification on. Again, any specific questions pertaining to your specific needs should be answered by a trusted lawyer. On the first page, you'll see this question. Were you initially granted deferred action under DACA by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE? Odds are you initially received DACA through USCIS, not through ICE. I answered no, as I'm sure is likely true for a majority of you who are following along. Go ahead and finish the remainder of the Getting Started section. Next, at the bottom of the Your Immigration Information page, it asks, what is your border crossing number, if any? As I'm sure may also be the case with many of you, I don't have a border crossing card number. In this case, I typed NA. Now we've reached moral character. If you answer yes to any of the questions under crimes and offenses or affiliations, that would severely jeopardize your chances of being granted deferred action under DACA. In this case, I would highly suggest you speak with a trusted lawyer before proceeding. Now, be sure to look over your responses in the Your Request Summary page before proceeding. Type your name in the signature line after reading through and acknowledging the statement under the Your Signature page. Next, click Finish and Continue. Congrats! You've now finished submitting Form I-821D DACA, and the beautiful thing about this being online is that it'll automatically redirect you to Form I-765, or Work Authorization. After reading through the information on the page, click Next at the bottom of the page. Don't worry, I'll be showing you how to properly upload images of your previous work authorization card and passport-style photograph. Quick side note, there's a chance you may be asked to complete a biometric services appointment, but it's more than likely that your previous biometric information will suffice and you won't be required to do this. However, keep an eye out in the mail for a letter from USCIS confirming this. And click Start on the next page. Be sure to select DACA under the eligibility category. Keep going through the application, answering what pertains to your situation. Again, to save you time, I'll highlight some of the questions that I personally needed further clarification on. Under Your Immigration Information, for the question, what is your Form I-94 Arrival Departure Record Number, if any, I left that blank because I do not have one. For the question, what is your travel document number, if any, I did not have one, as is also likely the case with many of you watching this video. In this case, type NA. For the question, what is your current immigration status or category, type in NLS and select NLS, no lawful status. This is because DACA doesn't grant lawful or documented status in the United States, rather only deferred action against deportation. For the question, what is your student and exchange visitor information system number, if any, I left that blank and it's likely yours is blank also. Under other information for the question, do you want the SSA to issue you a social security card, you should select no if you've already received one in the past. Now we've reached 2x2 photo of you. Here's what I suggest you do. Using a smartphone with a decent selfie camera, take a well-centered picture of your face. On screen, you'll see a good example. A well-positioned picture with a white background, free of any blurriness or any headgear, unless contrary to your religious beliefs. I'd recommend you transfer this picture to your personal computer and then go to freepassphoto.com. Once you're on this page, select United States for the country and United States passport 2x2 inches for photo size. Be sure to select the photo you took from your phone that's now on your computer, leave white as the background, and click Upload Photo, after agreeing to the terms and conditions, of course. Make sure the resulting image looks good, click Continue at the bottom, then Download on the next page. Be sure to upload this image to your work authorization application, then hit Next. Under Employment Authorization document, use a free smartphone app like Adobe Scan, Microsoft Lens, or Cam Scanner to take pictures of both the front and back of your previous employment authorization card. Be sure to then transfer that file to your computer and upload it to your application. You can also do what I did and scan your card using a printer scanner, but it's up to you. Next, under I-765WS, click on the link to download the worksheet and fill out parts 1 and 2 according to your situation. I would also highly suggest you write in something for part 3. On screen, you'll see exactly what I wrote down on my accepted application. Of course, don't copy it verbatim, but feel free to model yours after mine. Once you're done with your worksheet, upload it to your application as well. Now, be sure to look over your application summary and make sure all the information you submitted is truthful to the best of your ability. Type in your signature on the Your Signature page of the application after reading through the acknowledgements. Then hit Next. Under Pay and Submit, click on the box at the bottom and pay using either your bank account information or credit or debit card. And that's it. You've now successfully submitted both your DACA and work authorization applications online. Moving forward, keep an eye out for text messages and or email alerts from USCIS regarding your application. This goes without saying, but also be diligent about checking your mail regularly to make sure you don't miss any important information as well. If you have any questions for me, feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Best of luck to you, and thanks for watching.